I'm new Jiva Putri from class 5TI2, and in this video I will present my English syntax project. And in this presentation I will talk about 5 parts, which is the first one is the basic concept of syntax, the second one is the grammatical and lexical categories, the third one is the phrases and constituents, the fourth one is constituency test, and the last one is my reflection after finishing this project. And the first one, let me start with the basic concept. And syntax is the study of how words are combined to form phrases, clauses, and sentences. It focuses on how words are arranged and how they relate to each other so that the sentence becoming meaningful and grammatically correct. And the word syntax comes from Greek, meaning arrangement or ordering together. And this shows that syntax deals with how words are ordered to form sentence. And every language has its own synthetic rules. For example, in English, we say she is happy instead of is she happy, unless it's a question. And this shows that syntax controls how words are ordered to make correct meaning. And there are 3 main properties of syntax. The first one is hierarchy, and the second one is recursion, and the third one is structure dependence. And the first one is hierarchy. Hierarchy means that a sentence has layers of structure. Words form phrases, and phrases form clauses, and clauses form complete sentences. For example, in the sentence, the girl with the red scarf is reading a book, the phrase with the red scarf is a part of the large noun phrase, the girl with the red scarf. And the next one is recursion, means we can put one clauses inside another. For example, I think that she know that he left. And this shows that language can create unlimited number of sentences. And the last one is structure dependence, means that grammatical rules on sentence structure, not just word order. And for example, to make the boy is happy into a question, we say, is the boy happy? We move the auxiliary verb is, not just any word. So syntax is not random. It's a system that shows how language is organized and meaningful. In this part, we talk about grammatical and lexical categories, and I use 10 authentic English sentences. The one example is the city was quiet after the heavy rain. When I analyze this sentence, the is a determiner, city is a noun, was is a verb, quiet is an adjective, after is a preposition, and rain is also a noun. And each word has its own function in the sentence. The determiner the makes the noun city specific, and the verb was connects the subject and its description, and the adjective quiet describes the noun, and the prepositional phrase after the heavy rain gives time information. And for grammatical categories, the sentence use singular nouns, past tense, and third person. And this shows how each word works grammatically and semantically. And the next one is phrases and constituents. And in this part, I divided my sentence into phrases, or what we call constituents. A phrase is a group of words that work together as a one unit in a sentence. For example, noun phrase has a noun as its head, and a verb phrase has a verb as its head. And let's look at the first example. The sentence, the city was quiet after the heavy rain. The noun phrase in this sentence is the city, and the verb phrase in this sentence is was quiet after the heavy rain. And inside it, there's an adjective phrase which is the quiet, and inside the verb phrase there's also prepositional phrase, which is after the heavy rain. And inside that prepositional phrase, there's a noun phrase, which is the heavy rain. And from these examples, we can see that each sentence has a clear structure made up of smaller phrases. And this shows that syntax is about structure, not just word order. And the fourth one is the constituency test. In this part, I used constituency test to make sure my analysis of phrases was correct. Simply said that these tests help us find out which word in a sentence belong together as a one unit or phrase. And there are several kinds of tests such as substitution, movement, coordination, and crafting. Let me explain them in simple words and examples. Substitution test means to replace. So I replace part of sentence with a shorter word to see if it still makes sense. If the sentence still sounds okay, it means that part is a single phrase. For example, the city was quiet after the heavy rain. I can replace was quiet with was so, like the city was so after the heavy rain. The meaning is still clear. So, was quiet is a one phrase called a verb phrase. And the next one is movement test. This test checks if a group of words can move together. If they can move to another position and still make sense, they are one phrase. Example, the city was quiet after the heavy rain. And we move the after the heavy rain to the back to the front. The phrase after the heavy rain moved to the front and stayed meaningful. So it's called a prepositional phrase. And the third one is coordination test. And this test joins two similar phrases with and or or. If it works, the part is a praise. For example, the city was quiet and peaceful after the heavy rain. Here, quiet and peaceful are both adjective phrases, so this test confirms that quiet is an adjective phrase. And there's also clefting test, means breaking the sentence into two parts to emphasize something. For example, the teacher encouraged her student to read more often. I can say it was her student that the teacher encouraged to read more often. And the sentence is still correct, so her students is a one noun phrase. So this test can help confirm that parts that I found earlier really form complete phrases. They also show that English sentences are hierarchical, meaning small phrases combine to form bigger one. And in other words, syntax has a clear structure that connects words logically. And from doing this task, I found that substitution and crafting work very well because they clearly showed which part of the sentence act as one phrase. The movement test also helped, especially for prepositional phrase, even though sometimes the sentence sounds a little unnatural after moving. Through this project, I learned that syntax is not only about grammar rules but also about how words and phrase connect to make meaning. It helped me see that every sentence has a clear structure with smaller parts that work together. And the most challenging part for me was drawing the tree diagrams and deciding which words belong to which phrase. At first, it was confusing, but after some practice, I understood the pattern better. And this project really improved my understanding of English sentence structure. It also helped me write and speak English more correctly because now I can see how phrases fit together in sentence. So to conclude, syntax teaches us how language is organized from words to phrase to full sentences. Through this project, I learned that every sentence has structure and meaning that come from syntax. I think that's all from my syntax project presentation. Thank you very much.